My name is Jenny Davis, and my daughter Cora was having some focus issues, and we had tried lots of different things. We heard about the Revibe from a friend and decided to try it out. She actually had her Revibe for, I don't know, a couple of months, and then I decided I wanted to try it out too. So I also have a device and use it every day, and it really works nicely for me to have it and also understand how it works, and we can kind of compare notes on, whose focus score was higher today, or how many steps did you take, or something like that. And so it's really nice that we both have one, and we can talk about it together every day. I'm definitely more aware, and at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I thought I walked farther than that, or yeah, I really didn't get up from my desk very much today, so I'm not surprised I only have, 2,500 steps or what have you. She beats me with her steps every day. But I was noticing, just from my own personal experience of being in early intervention and working with children, that, sometimes she would know she had something to do, and sometimes she would do it and leave it at home, or we'd have to go back to school and pick something up. So I was noticing various things that maybe they weren't noticing with 25 other children. And it wasn't until 5th grade when I talked to her teacher, and her teacher was like, yeah, sometimes she's really struggling to stay on target with things, and she's struggling to turn things in on time and that sort of thing. But when we moved to middle school, that seems to not be an issue at all. She's not had any late assignments, nothing like that, and she's been wearing the Revibe the whole year. I use the text reminder for her homework. So every day at 4 o'clock it goes off, and it tells her to do her homework. I've definitely seen an increase in her being able to focus on something and complete a task at one time. That characteristic was not always there before, so it's nice that if she is kind of venturing off, like, oh, let me see what's going on over here, usually right about the time that happens, the reminder goes off and is like, are you paying attention? So it can bring her back in if she needs it. So I really like that it does that, and it's non-intrusive in the day. It's not, it doesn't necessarily cause attention to her, but still allows her to do what she needs to do and stay on task like the majority of the other students. So I like that. I like the app. I really like that from a parent perspective, because it does give me that insight on how her day was. If her fidget score is really high, then I know that she was not having the best day, that she wasn't able to sit still. So we can kind of talk about that. What was going on? What were you doing? How can we make it better tomorrow? And if I didn't have those statistics to look at to see what her steps were, what her average attention span was, then I would have no way of knowing really what her day is like, and seeing that she is able to stay on task for a certain amount of time without the application. So I really like that. I think the app by far is probably one of the best features that you can have. I mean, every wearable, if you will, has some sort of app, but to really get that information from it that's usable and useful is key. And not all of them have information that you can really use. I know this is completely about focus and staying on task, but for a parent, being able to see those things, you can use all of the scores to know what's going on, how her day was, what happened, and me as well. I mean, I look at my stats and go, oh yeah, I wasn't really paying attention today, or, I had so much going on, or I was sitting in meetings for 5 hours and I kept moving around in my chair. So it's helpful for me as an adult too, to look at it and kind of retrospect and see areas in which I need to improve. But definitely for a parent, when you don't have the insight because you're not with them every day, the app is by far my favorite part.